film, like, pretty good. We get some good footage because it looks a little blurry on my end, but um, I have been promising some of you guys that come to my channel to find out about my techniques that I use for like scratch offs and some things like that. And I have promised that I would do a video dedicated to how to win at the slots, okay? So when I did some of the original, a couple of the videos, well, I did two, about winning at the slot machines. Some of you guys, not the slot machines, on the scratch off tickets, some of you guys thought it was unbelievable. It was fake tickets and such. So what I ended up doing was taking you guys with me to watch me buy and pick my tickets. There is definitely methods to the madness, okay? So this is going to go into winning at the casino. Okay. At the slots. I am not a table game type of a person. I probably could be because I have been very successful winning at gambling, but not as successful as I would like to be, like, whole uh, hundreds of thousands of jackpots. I have probably over the course of over the span in the last 10 years, I've probably run about 38,000, we'll say, on the between scratch, well, more than that, between scratch tickets and these slot machines. So, contrary to popular belief, I have watched some videos as to, how to win and what are the odds and, the machines being rigged and set up and so have you. I would have to say that I believe that there are other places where you're going to get luckier than what would be the obvious place. So, whenever I would make plans to go to a casino, most states have casinos, or in a neighboring city or something like that, you're going to have a casino somewhere, right? So, where I live in Colorado, there is a place called Cripple Creek, and it's nothing but casinos. Beautiful scenery. Scary going up that mountain, but yeah, beautiful, beautiful scenery. But anyway, you go up the mountain and you come down into a little valley, and you begin to see all the lights and the casinos and such, right? So, me personally, if I plan to go to the casino and I'm going to stay for that entire day, then I'm probably going to take $100 per hour. Okay, and then money for food and such, right? Now, what I like to do is, when I get to the casino, I always make sure I get a player's card. And it's like, after, you play so much, then you start getting comped. And when I say comped, it's like every dollar you spend, they're not necessarily matching you dollar for dollar, but they're giving you like 25 cents on the dollar. So it can really add up and help you to continue to play. That's one thing. So the reason why I take that kind of money is because I'm the type of person, I like fast money, and I like to play on the dollar slots typically, okay? So the spins can get real expensive. One spin can cost upwards, at least the ones that I play at, one spin can cost upwards of $10 because you're betting a dollar on all 10 lines. which means vertically, horizontally, um, horizontally, and then side to side, like that, whatever that. I can't even think of which way, but anyway, you end up with betting on 10 lines. Um, and I prefer to play machines with where you can win on multiple lines. Now, some of you guys may have noticed that before this video actually is coming on, that I went ahead and I put up a snippet video just showing, because there are people who can see it right in front of them and they'll still say, oh, you making that up, you lying. But, I just wanted to show you guys that I absolutely do win quite a bit of money based on my techniques. So, a lot of people believe that they should play at the most popular casino in town, right? The one with the big advertisement and the billboard and all that. I don't do that. Even when I go to Las Vegas, I just don't play like that. The way I like to play is hole in the wall type of casinos, or right when you're entering into a strip of casinos, okay, like Las Vegas. Um, I would prefer to go into old Las Vegas versus on that new strip. So I'm talking about going to Fairmont Street. That's a whole nother video. I tore their butt up when I went out there that last time, which was January of 2020, so last year. But I I have never came home without winning at least probably a couple $1,000s. Excuse me. So another thing is that whenever I go into the casino, the first thing I do is, go up to customer service and I ask them, do they have any, specials going on, like where, you know, you basically, once you start playing, they have like a bonus, and it'll come over the intercom system, and it'll say, your name, and then it'll say go to booth number whatever, and then what you can do is spin like a wheel, and it'll let you win, like some certain amount of money or free spins or something like that. Go to casinos that have really, really good customer service, okay? That's another very important thing to me, is the service. Because a lot of the times you can tell how loose those slots are going to be based on the customer service. Like if you go into a casino and nobody is trying to really help you out, or like, hey ma'am, can I offer you a drink or a cocktail or anything, they don't care to have your business. But those smaller casinos or the less popular casinos, when they're like, would you like a cocktail, or, they're answering questions before you can ask them and stuff like that, that's the kind you want to stay in. Now, as far as picking my machine, I do not like to ever play on slot machines with that one single line. Even though you can bet multiple times. So if you plan for instance, a quarter or a dollar, then on that one line, um, you can bet and multiply it by 3 or 5 or something like that. Always play the max bet that you can on the slot machine. So here's what an example of what I'm saying is. I don't worry about, oh, this machine is hot, and, let me jump on this machine when this person jump up. That's not the way that I play it in particular. Some people live by it. Some people be having them little troll dolls with the hair sticking up. Like, that's a guarantee that they gonna win. It's either your you just kind of picking your casino or your slot machine, basically the casino and the slot machine combined. You're picking wisely, or you don't know how to really pick. And so a lot of time people say they'll sit back and they'll be watching you to see how you're doing on that machine. Just because the person that was before you was doing good on the machine or they weren't doing so good on the machine doesn't dictate how you will do on the machine. So pick the machine based on what is your gut feeling. Your first instinct is probably the correct one, right? As with anything in life. So anyway, I'll come in and I'll start walking around and I'll probably just see a machine that nobody's on. Or I may see a machine and it's 10 people lined up trying to get a spot on one of these machines. Now, with these machines, you have to remember this. Um, you want to play on the ones that are like 5 of them in a row, and at the top it has a jackpot amount. So it may be like $38,000, 27,000, or something like that, right? And so that's the type of machine. If you pay attention to the machine, it'll tell you as plain as day whether that machine is the type that you could win some real money. It'll tell you. It'll say that if you hit all the requirements, like all the sevens that have the fire behind them all lined up, then it'll tell you that if you play the max bet on there, that you will win $10,000, for instance. And so with that being said, I pay attention to that as well, just to see what my odds are. Because if it's 5 machines and it's $38,000, then my odds are greater than if I go up to a machine and you got 5 machines and the jackpot is $5,000. Your odds are not as great to win. Your odds are not as great to win if you play on the penny slots. You know what I mean? Because when you play with the pennies, you can multiply your what's it called, your roll or whatever by betting max, and you can get up to where you spent $1 for each time that you pull on the lever and such. But at the end of the day, it's just your odds are not as great when you play on the pennies or the nickels. Where you increase your odds is when you're willing to spend more money. So when you're willing to play them quarter machines and do max bets on those, then you're increasing your odds. When you're willing to play, of course, the dollars, you're increasing your odds big time. I don't go beyond that because it is just too much money. Because one time I accidentally played on a $5 spin, but I didn't realize it. I thought it was a dollar one, and it was a single line. There wasn't more ways to win like that. I pulled that sucker one time, but I did the max bet, which was I multiplied it. It was $25 for every spin, and I pulled it one time. I was out of $25. Now I could have kept playing, but that would have been foolish of me. Um, a lot of times when I know this sounds silly, but when when my left hand itches, typically that tells me that I'm going to receive some money, even if it's by way of a check in the mail. So if my left hand itches, then that's another good time for me to go to the machine. This is a superstitious type thing. It is not a guarantee, but I have never not won when that has happened to me. Another thing is that the bar that you pull, I can't even think of the word of it. Anyway, there's the bar, or you can press the spin button. So I'll hit that spin button. Okay, hit it a few times. And if I feel like it's not doing nothing for me, I just pull that lever real hard, hold it, let it pop up. And for some reason, even if I only win back what I bet, um, it's a win. You will never win less than what you bet. If you win. Just like with lottery tickets, if you buy a $5 lottery ticket, then you're going to, at the minimum, win that $5. So, I'm going to recap with you. Prepare yourself. If you're spending 3 hours at the casino area, take $300 with you. Well, $350 because you want to have money for food and incidentals, right? When you first hit the town, make sure don't drive deep all in where you see the most cars. Go to the place where you see the least amount of patrons. The reason why is because that casino has a bunch of money that they're willing to pay out. And they're going to have better customer service. Their drinks are not going to be watered down. And them slots are going to be hotter. Okay. When you get in there, make sure you get your card that will give you some points toward whatever you have spent. Don't look for either way. It's like far left or far right. So it's really no in between. Either go and play at the machine that everybody wants to play on, and there's people waiting to play on the machine, or play at the machine that nobody's playing on. Because that machine that's being ignored, there has been people back and forth from that machine. They're usually just tucked away like a hidden jewel, but so kind of just scam through, the casino. Another thing is, I don't believe in playing, and I have done it, but I don't like to play two machines at once. If you get a machine and that machine seems like it's pretty hot for you and stuff like that, stay on that machine. If you, like for instance, one time when I went to a very hole in the wall type of casino out here in Colorado, I sat down and I hit max bet. And I mean, I was bored, feeling like, I even had the feeling like I really wasn't going to win that night. So anyway, I just sit down at the machine. I'm like, ugh, I don't even feel like being up here because I was kind of like ready to go home when I got there. First spin that I did, I put $100 bill in, and I put my card in. The first spin that I did, it paid me, I think it was like $1,200. And then you would think this machine ain't gonna pay out no more because I just won $1,000. You know what I mean? But that's not true. That machine is ready to go. You keep on banging it out with that machine, you know what I mean? And then, like, say for instance, how I like to spin the reels is I hit it for a max spin. I hit it again for a max spin. If it ain't doing nothing by that third time, then I'll go down and bet down once. Hit it. Typically, it'll heat up and it'll do something for you. And you'll get, some kind of payoff. Now, in the meantime, you're not going to get the max bet payout, but it will heat that machine up. That's what I feel. It's tried and true. That's why I posted the little snippet showing you guys that yes, I do win that kind of money when I play it. Whether it's even on scratch tickets and stuff like that. Y'all didn't believe me, so I took y'all to the store and let you guys see that yes, I really do win like that. And you can too. But don't make it like it's your source of income, and get yourself into no financial trouble. If you can afford to do it, do it. You know what I mean? Some people have more to spend than others, but don't feel like you have to compete with nobody as far as you know spending out that money and stuff like that. Like, your friends, they got, 6-figure incomes, but you don't. You know what I mean? You're living, very humbly. You live, modest life or whatever. Don't take all your money just because they're able to do these kind of things and spend all your money. In the meantime, I do want to share with you guys that this with gambling and stuff. I called up to the particular casinos that I like to go to. And you cannot record in these casinos, so that's why we won't go on a trip into a casino. Y'all ain't getting me put in jail for recording up in there. You can record your win, but you can't record your methods and playing. And that's the only reason why we didn't go. But in the meantime, if you feel like you have a problem with gambling, then you can call Gamblers Anonymous. Their hotline phone number is area code 251 518 7222. That's if you feel like you have a problem. There is an online assessment to tell you if you may have a gambling problem, and then you may need some form of help. It's www.minddiagnostic.org. And it's like, again, it's an online assessment because gambling addictions are just as serious as any other addiction, or any other medical illnesses. You can really lose it all. You can win it all, but you can lose it all. So be mindful of that. And thank you guys for watching. And I hope this video helps you guys as far as getting on a winning streak. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of your day, and God bless.